That was pretty good.
Wow, that didn't work out. That didn't work out either.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I just blew the dude straight down the stairs.
I meleeed him at the same time.
Alright, buddy. Hold my seeker mine for me. So this is just going to keep blowing up next to him. It'll keep stunning him. Over and over. What's up, agents? How y'all doing? Hope everybody's hanging in there, being as safe as you guys need to be. Today, I want to bring you guys a really insane build. I'm not talking about insanely powerful. I'm talking about insane, like gimmicky, like I can't believe this works. You guys have probably seen recently we released all the skills and how they work with the combustor and its perfect explosive delivery talent. I left one of the perks out, or one of the skills out, and that's because of the special interaction it has. And as you can see in the background and in the intro, that's the Mender Seeker mine. Now, most of the mines, you throw them out, they have a one-time use, they're gone, but the Mender stays around. So there's the unexpected coding that the Mender mine just keeps running around and blowing up. Maybe they wanted to keep it. I hope they keep it in the game. By no means is this overpowered. This is straight up a gimmick, and I'll cover why in a second here. But the fact that you could toss out a Mender mine, it effectively becomes a weapon that then just starts taking off all over the screen to try to indiscriminately heal whatever of your teammates, your skill proxies, whatever it is on your side that needs to be healed. This thing will be running around healing it and exploding the whole time. So the question is, how can we take advantage of this to have a good time in gameplay? First of all, let me talk about the build. This is really easy to go off of if you've built anything into our legendary healer build. So if we take our standard legendary healer, which we're running with the Alps on the chest piece, we're running with the chill out mask, we're just going to simply switch out those two components. So obviously, since we're going to be using the combustor, that Alps Summit chest piece is going to be out of there. We're going to drop the combustor in there. Now, you're going to want to have repair skill on there natively so you can roll skill tier. That is fairly essential with this build. Other than that, you notice we have weapon handling, not a big deal. Now, for the mask, where we have the chill out, to buff our explosion damage as much as possible, we're going to elect for a China Light piece, and that's because that China Light will then buff our concussion grenade damage, which the Mender, the explosive delivery is based off of. It will buff that damage from 1.4 to 1.6. So anything you can do to buff your base damage up is golden. Now, realize that this is at a substantial loss to healing. We also lose out on either kinetic momentum as the chest talent for the most amount of healing we can get on the chest talent, or more importantly, empathic resolve, which is the other half of our damage bonus. We're going to be running that 4-piece future initiative, of course, so we're going to have ground control. You're going to get that 15% amplified damage bonus when any of your teammates are at full armor. That's great, but the other side of that is the empathic resolve, so when they get healed, they get that 13% damage bonus for 20 seconds, and that can be refreshed. All that really means is that we lose some of that top-end healing, and this is why I consider this gimmicky. I will say, and we'll get into this pros and cons, I will say this build will work in legendary content if you play a bit more conservatively. The problem is you really won't be able to take full advantage of the gimmick that this build is, and there's no reason why you wouldn't just run the legendary healer build instead of this for endgame content. Now, that being said, if you're running around in challenging or anything below that, you can have a lot of fun, and as long as you play somewhat realistically, you're not just Leroy Jenkins, you're pretty safe running around getting this thing to get the majority of your kills for you. So that being said, let's talk quickly about how the Mender Mine works. Then I'll go into the quick pros and cons. So how this thing works is you put it out. It indiscriminately goes around whatever, whether it's your teammates or skill proxies or whatever has the least amount of armor percentage-wise, the Mender Mine will take off to that to go heal. That means if you have a turret with 20% of its health and right next to them is a teammate with 30% of his health, it will go and try to fix the turret. So keep that in mind as far as what's going to get the healing. Now, as far as the interactions, so the Mender Mine will run around and heal a lot of stationary things, like the decoy. That could work really good. The decoy's grabbing aggro, things are going towards it. The Mender Mine's going to heal it of the damage it's taking and blowing things up. That could be pretty cool. You got the remote pulse. The things don't really target the remote pulse. It doesn't damage, so it doesn't grab aggro. So that really, it would work, but it's not really effective. Things aren't targeted. If it's sitting in a fire, then the Mender Mine may go over and heal it. Turrets are a great one. You put the turrets there, things will start damaging them. The thing is, other than juggernauts, not a lot of things walk right up to the turret to do damage. So not really as effective there. And then technically a stationary skill, but the shield, it's really not stationary because it's with your agent. So that goes into what will the Mender Mine follow around, and thus how can you kind of take advantage of the explosive delivery perk on it. Well, one interesting one I need to look into it is the idea of other seeker mines, right? You can throw the clusters out, but the big one is airburst. So you drop the airburst and then you have to tell it where to go. Well, unless it actually explodes, you can redirect it, and there may be a build there, albeit I can't see any reason you really want to do this, but there may be some fun ways of messing with that. Now let's get a little more practical. So of course, the Mender's going to follow your teammates around when they're hurt and go ahead and heal them. If there's any ads in between you and your teammates when the Mender is going, they may be subjected to those explosions. If your teammates getting attacked by melee guys, this might just blow them up directly. If nothing else, it will stagger them. So it will follow your teammates around. But the number one interaction we found after watching this gameplay for a little bit, and I didn't realize why there was explosions going off all over the place out in the foreground there, was because the Mender Mine was actually following my buddy's striker drone around. So it's running around chasing your drone that's chasing the enemy. So it periodically is blowing dudes up. So actually you having your drone and dude, there goes my Mender Mine to go after your drone again to heal it. And
that's hilarious.
yeah, as we're shooting the striker drone was flying around. So my Mender Mine was chasing it around to go ahead and try to heal it. And thus anything that the striker drone was going by was subject to the explosions of the Mender Mine. So I was getting a lot of peripheral and collateral kills just because me and my buddy were safe. So the Mender Mine was just going ham on the striker drone, trying to heal that and taking out a lot of things. So that's one of the coolest ones. If you have a team full of striker drones, they're going everywhere. This Mender Mine will be cruising everywhere. Now, the other more practical way of using it, of course, is if your Mender Mine is not busy trying to heal other things, it's falling behind you, you can do what you see in most of the gameplay here, which is me running directly at ads, trying to get them to melee me, trying to group them up, and trying to blow up multiple enemies at one time. And challenging a blow, it actually works to great effect. It's a lot of fun. It had me cracking up. So that being said, let me quickly talk about the pros and cons. I'm trying to keep this a short video. You guys can check out the gameplay otherwise just to see. And again, this is just a gimmick, right? I'm not trying to say this is a good build. I'm not trying to say anybody should use this. If you want to laugh and you already have the gear, check it out. So, pros. So the first pro is, hey, despite the fact of the trade-offs, this is actually still some really decent healing. This, like I said, even in Legendary, this will be enough healing to keep the teammates and yourself alive as long as you're not trying to go super gung-ho. The other real advantage is it's fire and forget. We're using our fixer drone. Oh, that's the way I forgot to mention. The fixer drone that's on my buddy, they'll shoot that down. The Mender Mine will go heal the fixer drone. So that's a big advantage there. So my fixer drone is hardly ever shot down. It only goes down when the duration expires. So it's basically fire and forget. I send out the fixer drone to any one of my buddies who's going to be taking the most damage. Remember, when he gets healed, I get healed too. Everybody around me gets healed. So that's no problems there. Drop the mine, that just goes to do its thing, whatever it needs to do. And then I just get to choose, what do I do? Do I hang out here and have a sip of coffee? Or do I run around and just be my own personal Leroy Jenkins? So, I mean, I guess a pro is that it has slight offensive capabilities. We're spec'd entirely into healing on every level, with the one exception of the China Light for the explosive damage. But, you know, we're spec'd into healing, and we can actually kill things in lower level content. I already mentioned it can be used in Legendary, as long as you're cautious. You know, you play a little more conservatively. And the number one pro, this is just a ton of fun in lower end content. All this stuff in the background here, I was having a ton of fun with my buddy running around blowing stuff up. He was never worried about dying. He had all the healing he had. And the only thing that he was ever bitching about was when the mine was following him around. He's trying to snipe dudes, and the mine just keeps blowing up and is shaking the shit out of his sight. So I guess that would be the first con. I didn't even have it written down here. But the first con, it may very well fuck with your teammates' ability to aim. So I'll throw that out there first. Second of all, okay, we mentioned you lose some healing potential based versus the legendary healer build. We lose chest talents. You're going to lose out on empathic resolve. You lose out on the possibility of kinetic momentum, and you lose out on the possibility of running the future initiative chest piece with tactical superiority, which I believe would kick up your amplified damage bonus from 15 to 25%. And that means that you have to choose. Ultimately, if you wanted to compromise on your mask, you could go with the Combustor, and instead of China Light, if you want a little more healing, you could go with Out Summit on the mask. You'd drop down to 1.4 million as your base concussive damage, but you would get a little bit of that healing back. Now, a big one to note, as you do move up into the higher level content, is the Mender mine can only have one cloud at a time. Mine has a duration of about 12 seconds. That means if I have a cloud that's out someplace, I'm sprinting towards the enemies to get them to blow up, and I got my Mender mine there. Yeah, my Mender mine might blow them up, but I also might get shot down, because that Mender mine cannot heal me until that other cloud expires. And if my teammate is not taking damage, thus getting healed, that means I'm not getting healed. If I have no form of healing and I'm running straight into a group of 3-4 enemies, what do you think the result of that is going to be? So that's something to consider right there. The last thing, and I think we pretty much covered it, is this is basically a group-only build. You wouldn't be able to get very far playing by yourself with this, particularly in higher-end content. This is really not a higher-end content build. I wouldn't recommend it in any form. I don't even think it would be that much fun, because your explosions aren't going to be killing things. You're not going to be putting out as much healing as you could have. Just all around, I think if you're going to be doing, maybe in heroic, but if you're going to be going into legendary content, just use my legendary healer build. All right, let's see. The one other thing I forgot to mention is the weapons. Nothing new here. We're going to use, in my case, I'm going to use an assault rifle with Reformation, and we're going to use the Scorpio. Reformation is to keep that healing up when we want to do that. The Scorpio, so I can actually do some damage and I can debuff the enemies for my teammates. All right, so this is this is the most fun I've had playing a healer in a long time, and I know it's been about 1.5 years now since I really started dedicating specifically into that. Long live the days of Marco Style and all his great healer builds from back in the Division 1. We don't have that anymore, so I'm trying to keep it as fun as possible. And while this may not be the best build, I'm trying to do things that you agents can have some fun. So let me know how I did. Did you guys enjoy the idea of this build? Do you think that this will be fun to use even if you drop down to lower end content? What do you guys think of this idea? And more importantly, what sort of ideas what did I miss so far that we can do with this Combustor chess piece? I feel like there may be some other broken interactions. I know when I made that first video, I talked about, hey, we're hoping to find something broken. We did. I'm wondering what we're still not aware of. So maybe you guys know those ideas. So do me a favor. If you enjoyed this or you learned something new, smashing that like button would be greatly appreciated. Hopefully by now I have earned your guys' subscriptions. Best thing you can do to help my channel is to share this video. And please, anything you guys would do different or anything you guys want to see coming up in the future here, leave me a comment down below. All right, I'm going to let a bunch of other gameplay play out, and you can just see me running around being a fucking asshole with my buddy Matt here. And yeah, you guys be as safe as you need to be out there, and I will check you in the dark zone. Peace out, agents. Dude, this build makes the game feel like tag back in elementary school, where I feel like I'm just chasing the dudes around, and you know, like the mind going is out. You know how like you would reach your hand out and try to swipe at the dude as they're running, hope that you could get even some of their clothes. Be like, I got you. That's how it feels like. And I know I got him because the body goes flying through the air. Shoot me with fire, dude. I'm gonna come over here and introduce you to my little friend. There you go.
Oil gas pressure redirected.
Whoopsies.
Flushed her out, Agent.
Hey.
Now take her down.
Hey. Nice. Whoopsies. Where did she go? She's down there running around. Okay.
Yeah, we're shooting at each other.
Oh, good. Good for you. I'm gonna come watch it.
There's a bunch of dudes shooting at each other over here.
Well, probably. Wait, dude, where's my mine? There we go. Oh, look at me. Look at me. I'm gonna explode. I'm gonna explode. I'm gonna die. Oh, okay, dude, it didn't even do any damage, dude. It's funny, because that's a super damaging skill in the right hands. Apparently, she doesn't know how to use the skill that we then master. Hi, Viv. Hi. Hello. Oh, she's punching me. She was just about to heal herself and then she stopped. I don't understand it. Oh, she's gonna kill herself, dude. Check this out. Whoa.
Oh, she blowed up.
Yeah. She almost killed me. That was crazy, man. I was out of control.
Psycho bitch.
What the fuck was she thinking?
Got her.
Good. Grab whatever evidence you can find on her.